This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good morning. Welcome to your morning newscast on Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here. Let's get to the news in detail. On the heels of a decision to move its regional headquarters to Guyana, ExxonMobil's prime contractor, Schlumberger, has touted an aggressive local content policy to identify and utilize local content in its value chain. It pledged to support Guyana for many years to come. However, in an invited comment, Managing Director of Schlumberger's Guyana, Trinidad and Caribbean Geo Unit, Ernesto Quadros, did not provide any of the requested information on the company's definitive local content targets and achievements thus far. But he went on to note that he sees Schlumberger as a pioneer in Guyana. In other news, former EPA Director Dr. Vincent Adams believes that if the integrity of the country is to remain protected, Guyana should stop the hiring of foreign experts and instead seek all needed consultants from its large diaspora. Dr. Adams reminded of the urgent need for a national strategic plan, which would map out what plans and goals the government hopes to achieve from the anticipated inflow of oil revenue. And one of those plans, Dr. Adams added, should include the utilization of the Guyanese diaspora. He went on to say that these foreign consultants are merely hired guns here to capitalize on an opportunity, make a few bucks, and then leave. And now let's tell you, after it was revealed earlier this month that ExxonMobil offered the former government more gas than Guyana needs, the numbers have gone even higher. ExxonMobil country manager Alistair Routledge said that ExxonMobil's local subsidiary, Esso, could deliver about 50 million cubic feet of gas per day, 20 million cubic feet higher than previously published members. There is so much gas among the 18 discoveries that Exxon estimates the gas to account for a fifth of its revenues. In other news, it has been highlighted in the 2019 Auditor General's report that the Ministry of Social Protection, under the former coalition government, overpaid a sum of $8.3 million to a contractor for works under a fence contract. The contract for the construction of a fence at the New Opportunity Corps on the Essequibo Coast was awarded in the sum of $69.5 million by the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board in 2018 to the lowest responsive of 28 bidders. This is the second time that overpayment has been flagged in an AG report. And now let's tell you, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony has rejected lobbies for clubs and bars to be opened in light of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. He stated that there have been lobbies in various ways on behalf of business owners for the reopening of nightclubs and bars. In spite of these appeals, the minister is adamant that they are to remain closed. His reasoning is rooted in the fact that the current official gazette of COVID-19 measures strictly prohibits same, even though several amendments have been made to allow other businesses to reopen under strict COVID-19 guidelines. It is understood that several bars and nightclubs have been found to be non-compliant. Some were even given orders to close over the past months. And moving on, one red flag in the framework for ensuring the transparent management of Guyana's natural resources revenue is the fact that the Minister of Finance holds too much power over the oil funds, so said Arthur Deakin, an analyst at America's Market Intelligence, or AMI. Deakin said that the current structure of the Natural Resource Fund allows the Minister of Finance, a position that is currently being held by Dr. Ashni Singh, to have the final say on how the monies are spent from the fund. This is in spite of the fact that it has to receive parliamentary approval. Deakin was keen to point out that this gives too much control to the current administration and not enough independent oversight. Meanwhile, notwithstanding the challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic and the last elections, Bank's DIH group of companies managed to rake in $5.2 billion in profits after tax for the financial year, which ended on September 30th, 2020. Chairman of the group, Clifford Rice, outlined that the profit before tax for the company was $7.329 billion compared to $6.167 billion achieved in 2019, an increase of $1.162 billion or 18.8%, whereas the profit after tax increased by $4.524 billion to $5.271 billion by $747 million or 16.5%. And finally, let's tell you, Uganda recorded 76 new COVID-19 infections yesterday, increasing the case toll to 7,143. 7 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU, 604 in home isolation, 34 in institutional isolation, and 11 in institutional quarantine. Additionally, a total of 6,328 persons have recovered from the virus, with 59 new recoveries recorded yesterday. The COVID-19 death toll remains at 170. And that's the news at the moment.